Yeah. I was very easily in a situation that
Jesus, get a better fucking connection, you fucking turd.
Ricky Monday already said that. You guys got to know that. Jody
Yeah.
Cat, there's some confusion.
The girl you beat
I
up?
was reading some comments, and I was reading comments about hiding the sausage and different things like that. I think there's some people maybe a little bit confused still about the situation out here. I mean,
Yeah, keep talking about
mostly
it.
I think we make videos about recording the police, not hiding the sausage. So like,
Yeah.
it kind of
We
seems
making
off
videos
topic,
about you
but just
beating
in
up
case
women.
it's not to everybody, I'm gonna just kind of.
The third restraining
This is
order
something I
you've
haven't had to say or talk about in a long time. I'm gonna do it anyways, because a long
You're a
time ago
domestic
people would think,
abuser.
that Laura and me were a couple, and I know Laura would always be offended by that. She wanted to make sure that everybody knows, and she reminds me constantly. If I even sit too close to her, she'll be like, "Ew."
Yeah, because you're probably gonna beat her up.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, Jody Cat is my girlfriend and has been.
Oh.
And there's nobody hiding the sausage out here cop watching that I know of.
Is that why she's got a restraining order on you? Is she like the third girl to have a restraining order on you?
What else is there? I mean, I feel like that stuff is really off topic, but...
Really? It's the topic everybody's talking about how you beat up women.
Are getting confused or
all your exes hate your guts and have restraining orders.
I probably shouldn't even bring up that topic because I feel like I probably just make it worse.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't because you're stupid.
Like I try to clarify something and...
You and Ricky
No matter what I
Pinzone.
say, I'll somehow make things worse instead of better. But,
yeah, you always make things worse. You think you're so important and you're not. You're just a loser on a bicycle who beats up women repeatedly. And you lie constantly. True, but I call it a gang.
That you ride with, you record with, that's not easy to do. So if we ever
So
have
why
any
do you
kind of
do it
chemistry
then?
going,
For YouTube views.
either you got us on a good day, or somehow we're just getting lucky because, and the more people you have in your group at one time, the more difficult it becomes.
Your group? You mean your gang?
Like, what is that saying?
More difficult it becomes for cops to do their jobs?
In comparison to Indians, but here's half-price mattress.
Wow.
Because no matter what we're doing or where we're at, each of us is always going to have our idea of which direction we should be going.
Huh?
I know, certainly I do. And it's not necessarily based on anything.
You make no goddamn sense.
If whoever's driving, which is usually not going to be me, if they make a left turn, a right turn, or any turn, most likely in my head I'll be going, we're going the wrong way now. It doesn't do a whole lot of good to argue about it, so I'll probably try to keep it to myself, but I'm just saying.
Do you just talk to hear yourself speak, or do you even listen to what you
say? Two people, and you're going to have two different ideas or directions where you should go, but Jesus Christ didn't. I accidentally picked the right one tonight. Look at that. What a miracle. You guys can't imagine how lucky I feel right now. I was just riding along talking to myself doing a live stream. I'm over here to get a beer, and here you guys are. It's like fate. Where's he going? I will try to get you $1. Yes. I don't know if I have it just yet. I didn't mean to chase off your partner there.
He doesn't have $1. He doesn't have any money.
I don't have any more money, man. I just have credit
But
cards.
McIntyre, seriously, good to see you. I can honestly say I don't think I could be wrong. There's a lot of things that happen. I don't think I've ever had any kind of complaint about you.
No, never.
That I can recall anyways.
Who cares whether you do or
you
not?
have a good night.
You don't got a job. You beat up women.
That's good. That's good. All right, you have a good night. I will.
Imagine
what a coincidence
defending
that was.
a fucking woman beater.
If I don't have cash, is there something I could get you with $1 instead? A Black and Mild? Is that a cigarette? Is this like a single cigarette?
Yeah, it's like a blunt cigarette,
How much does it cost?
$1.50.
Okay, I'll try a Black and Mild. Okay.
Wow, you're so cool. Yeah, I fucking
No, well,
hate people
I don't,
that
I
do
don't think
this
I have
on
Nora, but
YouTube.
I should be able to get the black and mild. Okay.
I hate people that do that.
yeah.
Oh, I'll buy you some, buy a
almost
bum
just,
something
like,
so I
was
can
gonna
get
make a deal. I was
somebody
gonna
that
say, you know
I'm a
what?
nice
You watch my
guy.
bike and I'll get the black and mild. But
Yeah, forget about the fact that I beat up women and all my ex-girlfriends
that
have
in,
restraining orders on me.
I did that in Las Vegas. It wasn't a blunt though. It was a breakfast. Right? I was getting a whole breakfast. Did you see how those Hawthorne police left like they don't like me? Isn't that strange?
I don't think a lot of people like you.
I feel like
The only people that like you are in your own head. You and your idiot
I
friend,
thought the police were going by,
Ricky
but I think it might be
Pinzon.
on the freeway. It is because they're gone. All right.
Hurry up, it's almost 1:30. Last call. Get your beer, you fucking tweaker.
Can I get a black and mild? I'm not sure if that is things a cigarette or something. And a small bottle of Fireball.
There it is. There it is, folks, the Fireball.
This fine?
That's the only tax
Yeah,
that
it's fine.
Daniel Solomon pays, but he pays for the salaries of cops. He gets to tell them what to do. So go steal one of their police cars
okay.
if it belongs to you, if they work for you.
Yeah, it's fine.
What a fucking loser. What a fucking loser, dude. Beat up women and then you're like, oh, let's everybody go harass her and so she'll recant her testimony or recant her story. But obviously the cops had enough evidence, visible trauma or injury, to book you on a
You can tell her to
felony.
shoot away. Okay.
Only losers
night.
hit women. Losers like Daniel
All right, you
Solomon.
guys, I'll move right with you. Hold on a second. Where's the guy with the...
You
I
fucking
didn't think I left it. I
loser.
got the cigarette for her. All right.
Yo, dude, you're a piece of shit. Beating up women. Beating up Jody Casillas. Masturbating to old cop videos. Reminiscing about how important you think you are.
I think I have a plan here worked out maybe.
Yeah.
And it won't be hard to figure it out just based on what I've kind of already talked about. But I think we're going to be having some cameras set up out here on the street. This is something I've talked about many times, but never ever accomplished. And it's not that far out of reach, right?
You just drove
Cameras
past
aren't that
a bike
expensive.
that was stripped. Let's see how long your cameras
Actually, they're
last.
really inexpensive these days. Hi, how are you? Like the kind you put on a building, like a security camera.
You don't have any money for that. Look at you, you're e-begging again.
That way,
And your idiot followers just
so we can
donate
kind of
to the
be
white
able
to the woman beater.
view and document things in these neighborhoods, even when we're not here, even like from the house.
How come you won't talk about beating up women, huh? How come all your ex-girlfriends have restraining orders on you? How come you got three domestic violence charges? Why are all the women in your life leaving you except for
Yeah. So
Xanax
somebody
Queen?
asked if have I talked to Denise?
Laura
No,
Shark.
It's been a long time. I don't remember exactly the last time. I hope she's doing well.
Yeah, Denise doesn't want nothing to do with you either because you're tragic. All your ex-girlfriends. Where's Wendy? Where's Mystery Girl? All dumped you and all filed restraining orders against your dumb ass. So it's
But,
the officer's fault that you beat up a
Understand,
woman and
some
she
of these
filed a
people,
restraining
regardless
order
of how
on
much
you.
they dislike me. That dislike is not always mutual. Even if they do something shitty to me, I don't stay mad for very long. I mean, obviously that would be different
You've been carrying a grudge against me for like 5
if they
years.
did something shitty to
calling out
me
your bullshit.
on the level that they probably do to a lot of people. One awful thing,
So it's the cop's fault that he arrested
be
you
the end of
for
our lives as we know it.
visible
But
trauma or injury to Jody Casillas.
in general, the times they've treated me like shit, they usually allow me to still continue living my life. And
Because your idiot followers condone
Yeah.
woman beaters.
let's see.
I think that's just fine and
My channel-
dandy. You're such a
my
man
channel-
for beating up a woman. Yeah, you don't want to talk about that, or why you're up
that's
at
true.
1:30 in the
No doubt.
fucking morning
I
on your
definitely have
bicycle.
post-traumatic stress disorder. You know, like most of the time I could be happy or something, but you know, I don't have any control when, like, suddenly I'll be thinking about things from, 20 years ago.
There it
Frustrations
is
that I
again.
had. They come up often enough, and when they do,
He's been recording
I'll
cops
probably
for
be out here
20 years, folks.
raising my voice and rehashing everything through my camera and stuff, but
Do you make one coherent thought at all?
yeah, I guess a lot of that shit is probably permanent. Like, even though I try to be positive, but a lot of the things that happen is probably permanent damage, whatever you want to call it.
You got
But just
50 people watching
compared
this
to-
stream.
things
You're
that
not
other
that
people have gone
important.
through. I'm free. I'm riding my bicycle. I'm healthy. So
You beat women?
if I
You're a
feel
drunk?
like I'm bitchy about some things that happened 20 years ago, in the overall scheme of things, I would say that's not a whole lot to complain about.
Well, that's a
Or
crime.
even, let's be honest, I could probably bitch about something that happened, in
See
the last
that
week.
red
but still,
sign? That means no.
there's
means
so many.
stop.
Look, I think isn't there I don't follow the news, but there's a new war going on, right? So.
Don't even talk about things
Yeah.
you don't. God, you're an idiot. Let's talk about you beating women. That you beat up women. You constantly have
I read
restraining
just a
orders
little bit
from
about it.
ex-girlfriends on you. That's never happened to me. Never.
That how Ukraine, I think, is just a huge underdog, and maybe they're trying to stand up for themselves. And
So
no,
not
maybe
even-
it's about the perfect. I'm having been big and killing in life.
Right.
Every
Every time you make
Yeah,
shit, bullshit, giving me a headache.
Isn't that weird how those Hawthorne officers split though from the liquor store? I was trying to be nice. And
Maybe they were
be
busy.
friendly, and the bigger dude. Did you see how fast he just like? He's not having it. He immediately was like, "Bye."
Because they don't want to deal with you. They fucking
I
shut
seen
your ass
Sergeant Nichols
down.
earlier today too. Who I've known him for, I'm gonna say I've known him for close to 20 years. I think he first pulled me over.
Imagine being proud of the
I don't
fact
remember
that
what year it was. It
officers
was a
know
very
your
long time ago.
name. That you're like, I've known this officer for that long.
And over the years,
like it's a badge of honor.
in my
or
mind,
some
it hasn't
shit.
been that bad. Like I don't dislike him. But it's funny watching. He's trying to walk to his car, and he's walking as fast as he can, and trying to say, "Oh, have a nice day, be safe, Daniel."
Well, probably
And just
afraid you're gonna pull a gun out on him and shoot him because you
walking
said you would
at a
pull out
terribly aggressive pace because
25, 30 cops and
maybe
shoot
I have
hot
the
lead
ilk
in their
from
face.
Being in the jail, maybe I smell, but I was on my bicycle, so he can't walk fast enough to where I'm still next to him, recording him and being nice to him.
Oh, were your feelings hurt? Maybe it's because
Maybe
You
that's the part that's
threatened to kill
difficult.
them.
I don't know.
They should pat you down for
But
weapons
I
anytime
forced
you
him
come
to talk
near
to me
them.
for a minute, and of course these conversations are not natural because I'm like making small talk and asking questions that nobody cares about. I can't really explain it, but it's this approach that I use.
Somebody in the
Just
chat
because
just said, at least you're saving
I've
gas
known them
money.
too long; they don't get to walk by me and not
Yeah,
and not
because
talk.
riding a bicycle is
I mean,
what
we're
winners
adults, right?
do.
It shouldn't be that hard to.
He rides a bike because he's
act
got a
casual with the
suspended
person
license. He's had a suspended
minute,
license for many
and
years.
especially if that's your job, right? If your job is to interact with the public, you should be able to do it.
Oh, you got a 99-cent donation. Now you can go back
Yeah,
and go
so
get another beer.
They've never really done that.
Go get a
to
Steel
me.
Reserve this time, winner.
But look, all it takes is, it's hard to tell. Like when I was sitting there in jail, my bail's 50,000. They're acting like I really did a violent felony. That I was surprised
She
when
got
I got home
a
and looked at the penalty,
restraining
the options
order
were 12
on
months
you.
in county jail, and then the other options there's
You're not
2,
off the
4,
hook.
or 6 years in state
Quit
prison.
lying to your fucking
I was
idiot
thinking, well,
followers.
none of those sound good to me. You know what I mean? Like that, I can't do. If any of those options, if I get any of those options, that pretty much is the end of my life, as I see it.
Oh, you're going to jail, all right. Again, can't stay out of jail.
So
you're a
then
career
there's the-
criminal, and all the cops know who you are. And
You know,
what
the
a
idea,
life.
well-
You have no life.
Were they actually trying to do that?
You live in a fucking
Was
shed.
that ever actually an option? Could that have possibly happened?
You eat cat poop cookies.
And
you
the
beat up
only answer I
women.
could come up with is yes. Because I'm trying to remember his name. Can't remember his damn name right now. The
Maybe you
sergeant
should stop
involved,
drinking. Stop doing drugs.
I just was barely put in a cell. No sooner I don't think I even sat down yet. He already was pushing a restraining order against the glass and saying, my glasses are. They've already taken my glasses, so I can't see it. But he's making it clear that. So now there's only one witness to this crime that I allegedly committed, right? But
and
he's
you
just made
bullied
it
and
clear.
harassed her.
Now, if I contact my witness
or
in
your
any way,
followers did.
that means I'm breaking the law, and for sure I'm even really not going to get out of jail.
Well, you are
And
lying.
there's something
You are
underhanded
lying.
about that. I'm going to try
Yeah,
to explain
something underhanded about visible
how it comes across
injury
to
or
me.
trauma.
The thing is, I'm already locked into jail. So why is it important to give me a restraining order? Okay, we'll just pretend
So now you're
Let's just
attacking
pretend for a minute
the person that put the
that it's
restraining
necessary
order.
because maybe I did some violent thing, and so they're
You
trying to
did
protect
do a violent thing.
a person with this restraining order.
They didn't arrest
I'm
you
locked in a
because
cage.
you
I couldn't
filmed
possibly
cops.
go and hurt somebody, even if that's what I wanted to do. But nobody
Oh,
thinks
look
that
at
that's
him.
what I
He's
want to
trying
do.
to plead
Obviously,
to everybody. I don't
not
hurt
doing that.
nobody, but you were arrested
So you
for
have to say, what
felony
is the purpose
domestic disturbance.
of them getting this, there's only one thing that restraining order is accomplishing. First, it's making it to where there's the sheriff in front of me. It's making it to where
It's not stopping you from
I
talking
can't
about
call
it. That's for damn
Joey
sure.
Cat Media.
It's
And-
not
and that's,
stopping you from
That's
harassing
an
her.
important thing. Since I was just arrested, and she's the only witness, that's a pretty important bond right there for me. You know what I'm saying? And the point is that with these police, they're trying
So now you're
to take
kissing
that
up-
away from me, and even make it illegal
Try
for
to
me
get the charges
to
dropped.
speak. Now, isn't one of the whole things of due process is you're allowed to have witnesses? They're using these restraining orders in a bullshit way to try to what is it they're doing? They're trying to work around the law and make it a crime for me to exercise free speech. You know what I'm saying? But worse than that,
No,
there's something else.
you're
they're
wrong.
doing. But
You're
with this
wrong.
restraining order,
Idiot,
they're-
you're wrong.
it's like they're pulling the wool over my eyes, because a restraining order is supposed to be from the victim, right?
She filed it
Not from a police
against
officer who's
you.
playing tricks
She
on me.
filed it. So quit trying to spin it that you're some kind of like off the hook guy that got your
I'm gonna remember the sergeant's name here in a second, and when I do remember it, it's gonna become important because
because you're gonna attack him, you're gonna shoot him, you're gonna line
Because
him
he's
up
the
with
same guy who
25, 30 other cops.
Leon Rosby, and if you
Put
guys
hot
remember,
lead in their face. Is that what
Leon
you're gonna
Rosby
do?
is the guy.
Daniel Solomon.
Hawthorne Police Department killed his dog. They shot his dog in the process of unlawfully arresting him for recording. Okay?
Everybody's
This
unlawfully
is the
arrested.
same sergeant
Why do we have
who,
laws then? I
framed
don't know.
Leon Rosby
It's fucking
for
anarchist.
witness tampering. I'm probably gonna have to stop my bike here and.
Yeah, you're
I
witness
don't know how
tampering
many
right
even
now
care to hear
by
about this.
talking
Maybe
about
none of you even
Jody
care,
Cat
but
Media or
it's really
Jody
important to me.
Casillas, your
It's a story
victim,
for
who
since
has a restraining
2013
order against you.
that I've wanted to publish complete. But
Look at him, he's fucking tweaking. It's
many of you might not
cold as
remember
hell out, and he's got a
Leon
layer of
Rosby is a
sweat
guy that
on him. Like,
lived in Hawthorne. He had a Rottweiler.
Jesus, dude.
Named
Get
Max.
some fucking help. They need
And,
to lock this dude up permanently.
A big part of the
man.
story that nobody knew about because it was not really ever published is he had an issue with the Hawthorne
Here
Police
we
Department.
go,
They had
it's
already
story
previously
time.
beaten him up and they had
Tell
broken
us a
some of his
story
ribs.
about something nobody
so-
remembers.
The other thing you didn't hear about Leon Rosby is he's a good person. I feel like I'm blowing it because this is an important video I'm working on, but I guess this is a sneak peek. I'm just going to kind of tell you guys right now. Leon Rosby is not like the rest of us. He's a little bit different. I'm going to explain why I say that and how I know.
It's
Yeah, when I met him
1:30 in the
in the,
morning. Go to bed.
LAX courthouse.
Or go back to your shed.
I shook his hand. I think
Go
I
jerk
first
off
thing I
to
did was
old cop
I started using the
videos.
F word. I was like, oh man, I can't believe what the effing Hawthorne police, and the way they're doing this to you, these MFers.
Look at his
whatnot,
mouth.
right?
Look at the way.
Saying bad words. And I noticed his wife.
Dude, I've
And I
seen
think he
that
has some
before.
daughters with them, but they're not like small
Is
children.
that coke
I
or
don't
meth?
think.
Probably both.
But I noticed.
Look at
like,
him. He can't
suddenly
focus
they
on
They all
anything.
started to
He's
have
all spun
their
out.
hands over their mouths, and their eyes got really big.
Look at that layer of sweat. It's freezing cold
like
out.
I was like thinking, what did I do? Like I could tell I did something wrong, but I wasn't exactly sure what it was. And he put his
You're
hand on
never sure
my
what you
shoulder
do
and
wrong.
kind of
You think you're
walked
such an
me away from
angel.
his
You're
family a
not.
little bit.
People who beat up women are not
And he
angels.
was like, we don't use that kind of language.
Ugh.
I think I was like, are you kidding me?
Here's
You guys
story
don't say the
time,
F word?
folks. This is like all he does. Is like tell
Like, okay,
stories about
No problem.
things we
Oh, I see.
have
What
no
you're saying
clue
is
what
you
he's
don't want me
talking
to
about.
use
He just
the
likes to
F
hear
word in
himself
front of
talk.
your wife and okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Now,
Look at
I
his
don't know,
eyeballs,
that
too,
might
his
not
pupils.
prove somebody is a good person or a
That's
bad
probably
person,
why the
right?
cop left
Does
because
that
they
make you a
didn't
good
want to
person
arrest
because
you
you don't say the
again
F word? It might not.
for being high on
But also,
meth or coke.
also, I think he was.
Did you lose track of what you were talking about again?
Okay, so now see, this is what I'm saying. What you did, Love Mechanics. What you just said that he maxed on single women on Facebook. Yeah, okay, I find that hard to believe. I find what you're saying about that. I find that hard to believe. Okay, but
Are you jealous? Do you
maybe
want
it's
to beat
true. Maybe
those
he's
women up?
undercover player. Okay,
We've all
if you
seen
remember
you in
when he
the-
pulled up in his car and
Your
got the
shed
dugout.
throwing phones and
I don't remember the song right now, but it was
kicking
like a
cats and
kind of like a sexy love song. Like if you were trying to mac on the women, you might be playing that song.
and your towel on your cop baiting
But I'm
chair.
still going with my story. At the very least, his family, they don't hear the F word because I seen for myself when you say it, their eyes get real big and they cover their mouths like
Like you tweaking
like they've
right
been living
now?
on some other planet. There's other reasons why.
Dude, maybe you should stop hitting
Why do
women.
you say Humax and all that stuff? Why do you say all that? How are... Love Mechanics, how do you know that?
Oh,
How do you
that's
know
got
that on
that's got him
Facebook?
triggered.
Doubt he's married. Okay, I see that.
That's got Daniel
makes you
triggered
wrong.
that he gets women, and he probably doesn't
guarantee-
beat them either.
He's married. He
He
has a
probably
wife,
doesn't have a
right?
restraining
If you have
order
a wife,
against
that
them
usually
either.
means you're married. But now here's the other thing.
So now they just slander him.
I might have a point with this. Okay. Just based on the language thing, they were setting him up for witness intimidation, witness tampering. I'm sorry, it's so loud with the planes and stuff. Okay, well, I'm just going to prove to you right now the witness tampering thing was completely fabricated. It's not based on any kind of reality. Okay, that's how I know.
Because you intimidated
The
Jodi
witness tampering
Casillas
thing was
by
bullshit.
using your YouTube
And
followers to attack her and
besides
accuse
that,
her and shame
at the
her
time I had a
for
friend
calling
named,
the
Phil
police
Flash,
on
him
you
and I
because you
recorded
were
a
out of
video
control.
And
If
that's
you were
where they
that
tried
out
to
of
pick-
control
they
that
tried to-
she had to call the
this
cops,
didn't come out for
it was
probably a
pretty
year until
fucking
the
bad.
trial.
And you're lying
They
about
tried to
what
say that the
happened. It
lady
was a
from that
visible
video,
injury to
that
her.
Leon Rosby maybe watched our video and decided he was going to go harass, because everyone in the country agreed, but we found a lady that was crazy enough in the video. She was like, that's his fault. He shouldn't have had his dog out here, no how. She's saying some stuff like that, okay?
Oh my God.
But the video we made, nobody even watched it. It had like, probably had a Phil Flash's video. Maybe I'm surprised he even published it, because the lady was so crazy with what she said, it just didn't matter, but he did publish it. Maybe 1,200 people watched it. I can assure you, first, Leon Rosby was not one of the people that watched that video, but even had he watched it, he wouldn't have taken the time to go over and bother. I think her name was Kathy Brown. And what are you talking about, Ricky?
Oh, look, it's Ricky Pinzon.
Oh, does not. Now you
Oh,
made me-
Ricky filed
made me
another
lose track of what I
copyright
was gonna say.
strike.
Oh,
He's going to
so
take
this
me
lady,
to
Kathy
court.
Brown.
So you
Okay.
beat up women and then
I
blame
was-
the cops.
It's only
It's
by
always
luck
the
that I got
cops'
that
fault.
thought together.
So you have an
But the
open
point was,
container,
Detective
it's the
Allison,
cops' fault.
He was the detective that was
You threatened 35
responsible
35,
for
25
framing
cops.
Leon Rosby.
It's the cops' fault.
Now,
You're a professional victim,
there's
Daniel
more than
Solomon.
one detective.
You and Ricky
the city
Pinzon,
of Hawthorne,
professional victims.
right? I believe there might have been 2 on the case. And I could be wrong about that. What I do know for a fact
Daniel, you're wrong about everything.
is Detective Allison
You just
was
talk to hear
definitely
yourself speak. You feel
involved
like you have a soapbox.
in that case.
YouTube's giving you a soapbox, and you've got
So,
80
was he
people
100%
watching you.
involved
You're
with
not
the,
that big. You're not that important.
the witness
You're not
tampering and
protecting
intimidation?
anyone's rights
Was it 50%? I
by
don't care.
beating up
He
women.
was definitely involved.
So you're saying
It just
that
came out when the.
your followers did
It's
not
actually
attack,
ridiculous that they could do that
Jodi
and they get away with
Casillas.
it. You know, mainstream media was
And
all
it's
over
all the
that
cops'
story.
fault
Oh,
for
know,
you
the
beating
dog,
a
the
woman.
dog. Everyone was talking about it.
when
And
you
poor
have a
Leon
history
Rosby,
of doing so.
all Hawthorne police had to do was arrest him again, make a $500,000 bail so he couldn't
Yeah,
afford
women
to
that
get
follow
out and say
this
he
guy
tampered
are
with the witness.
self-hating women.
And then mainstream media was like, okay, well, never mind about the
They're,
dog. Leon
they're
Rosby's a
okay
bad
with
guy,
him hitting women. That's okay.
which he never was. He was hoping
Yeah,
maybe
that dog was
he
aggressive.
could do some good. Maybe,
And they were forced
maybe
to
someone
shoot him.
else won't get their ribs broken. And obviously it backfired.
I love
They
how this
murdered
guy
his dog
always
in front.
defends criminals, because he is a criminal. Him and Ricky Pinzon are career criminals. They've been arrested
Later,
7 times
I don't know
between
how
the
many
2 of
weeks
them
it
in the past
took 'em
year.
They edited a video where they jacked the audio up real loud, but it was so obvious that the audio was tampered with. Like it was like an unusable recording, and all they did was just push the audio levels through the roof. And then they said, see, that's why we had to arrest him, because he was playing the music so loud we couldn't hear with our emergency situation.
No, the dog was
By the way,
aggressive,
that's,
jumped
was-
out of the car, and started to go towards the officers. It was a Rottweiler. If that's the thing you're talking about.
That was Lieutenant Kenneth Swain who came out with that story. He sent this obviously edited video. How does that story sound to you?
I don't know. It sounded really
Does anyone believe that-
stupid. Oh, yeah? I know a really dumb story. There's this guy that rides his bicycle around that's high on
Round
meth
Rock, Texas.
or coke, and he's beating up
Taser
women
survivor.
repeatedly.
Was it you that just a few moments ago was saying you were attacked by the police? Maybe that was someone else.
Yeah, you're not getting to the issue. Why do you beat
Hi,
women
Daniel
repeatedly?
Santana, how are you? You know, you're like the encyclopedia. What is? I'm not even sure. What do you call it? When you know all the history of a lot, all the things. I'm sure you are probably.
You didn't graduate high school.
Well versed, or maybe not. Are you well versed on the Leon Rosby?
Oh my
incident?
God! Please shut the fuck up.
And Detective Allison and these things like that. I have a feeling, just if you didn't already know these things, just hearing me say it once, you probably will remember it.
Oh my God!
Okay, wait a
please
sec. Which tricks are you
shut the
talking about?
fuck up.
Which tricks am I going to fall for? I mean, I
You're
would
so
have fallen for
paranoid.
anything just a very short while ago, because I literally, I knew that there was a call generated, and I knew that, what they probably weren't aware at the time. They could have been, but I knew that the noise had come from me, right? So I was on my way out, and I waved to him, and I explained to them, yeah, sorry, I'm sure there was some yelling, because I wasn't concerned. And then,
Is this a confession? You're
yeah,
lying.
so I helped him to get in the building, and then I was gonna go ahead and pedal away. But they were kind of standing around me a little bit. So I took a couple pictures, and then eventually I was like, so I guess I'm being detained right now, right? Is that what's going on? But I still didn't have any idea that, things were going to escalate the way they did. But on the bright side, I think there's a bright side, and I think this is a very important thing that happened, and I think that it needed to happen, because
You need a new
I'm not
girlfriend to beat up.
certain that, I don't know that I appreciate the things that the so-called Detective Allison did. Like, there's no reason to be
Oh
shoving
my
a
God.
restraining order in my face. Like, what I'm not even in the cell yet. You're getting ahead of. Why are you getting ahead of yourself? Why is that relevant right now, when I haven't even got into my cell? And there's only one answer. There's only one answer to that question.
Remember, 2 days
It's
ago
because
he
he's
said that there was no
he's trying to,
restraining order until I put it out that he did have one.
He's already got a plan. He's going to try to fuck shit up. He's trying to take.
You take no
the
responsibility for
only
beating
witness,
up a woman.
and make a situation now that I'm not allowed to call her. What are you going to think?
You
You're
have a
gonna think, "Oh, wow,
history of doing
that person
this.
must be really angry at me because
3 women
well,
have
it's a
filed restraining
order. I didn't
orders
see
on
that
you.
coming.
What kind of man are
And
you?
also, that means your witness is not on your side, right? That means your witness is on their side. That means you're in trouble. That
She
means
filed
you're-
the
he's
restraining
gonna be
order
convicted of
on you.
something.
She filed it.
And so that means
So now you're spinning it, trying to say that the
Detective
cop put
this
one
thing he
on
did
you.
to Leon Rosby is definitely not an isolated incident, right?
Huh. You're a really special kind of liar. You're lying through your teeth.
Where'd you
That
get
the
this
officer
from?
put the restraining order on you just so that you couldn't talk to your ex-girlfriend. No, she put it on you because you're a dumbass.
Yes.
And you're a liar and you
And
beat
look,
women.
Before, I said things that I shouldn't have said. I was angry. I said things that I shouldn't have said that weren't true, that I don't get to take back. When you say hurtful things, you can say you're sorry, but you still said them, right?
Yeah, but you caused visible
so-
injury to her.
She
had to call the
obviously would have reason
cops
to be mad
on
at me.
you.
And
It had to have been
probably
pretty
already had reason
goddamn
before I said
serious.
those things, or we probably wouldn't have been fighting in the first place.
If a cop watcher calls a cop on the other cop watcher,
But
it
that
has to
doesn't
be
change
pretty
what
serious.
Allison did, okay? And I confronted them in the parking lot, just in case you guys are wondering. just by coincidence, when he was walking to his car after work today, I just happened to be there riding by on my bicycle.
Oh, you just
So
happened
I
to
had
be
the
there.
opportunity
You're
to have a
stalking and
chit-chat with
harassing
him.
the police officers.
I've known Detective Allison for 10 years because of the Leon Rosby trial. That's when
You
I
are
became aware
sweating
of him and
bullets,
who he
dude.
was.
You are sweating bullets. You are scared as
We've
fuck.
always had a cordial relationship. Every time I
should
talk
be.
to him, he's patient.
You're a disgusting, despicable
I ask him
person
the
to hit
questions that I
women.
have that almost always are irrelevant, just to make sure that he knows how to talk to another human being. And he's always done very well in that little personality test with me. He's never failed at one time. Today, when I confronted him, when he was walking to his car, there's a complete, it wasn't the same Detective Allison. It's almost as if he tried to do something to me a few days ago, and it didn't work.
It did
And
work.
So I'm confronting him as he's going to his car.
It
It's
did
almost as if
work.
That's not how he expected
Look how
things
he
to turn out.
spin doctoring him beating up women. And she has a restraining order, just like your last 3 girlfriends. Maybe women aren't your thing, bro. It had to be pretty serious for Jody to
that's
call
a-
the cops on you.
Campus police as bad as city police. They're probably
Okay,
just
you
as
were
bad,
out
just as
of
good. I don't know,
control. They
right?
didn't
Wouldn't
just
they be the same? They
show
have the
up
authority
and
to do
arrest
things
you
that the rest of us don't.
and pin a charge
so
on
probably
you.
some of them will abuse it.
And if she
I
filed a
don't-
restraining
I know I've
order,
got some
something
Camino Campus
serious
police.
had to have happened. You lost your cool
I
just
don't
like
know.
you did in your
None of them tried to
shed,
frame me.
throwing your phone
They did try to
around.
frame me. They did detain me and cuff me for having 2 bicycles, but we resolved the situation quickly, and they even it was okay.
So you had a stolen
It was all right.
bicycle with you? Okay.
Ghost Rider, what's up? How are you?
So you're still
So,
talking
that just
about
comes across
a
as an
case that's
underhanded
open.
thing to do, right? I've known this guy for a long time,
Oh,
and basically everybody there I've known
it's
for a long
underhanded
time.
for the
These
cop
are
or
familiar
underhanded
faces.
for you or
A couple of them
underhanded for
are the
Jody?
young kids who are probably training, and those are the people that I usually
Deflect, deflect, deflect.
assume are the nicest because they're not really set in their ways. They know I've been around for a long time. They recognize me, and they usually just kind of stay away and will be polite to me. But today they trained them on,
Wow.
or not today. You know, in this scenario, they basically were trained on this is how we jam somebody up.
Yeah.
And it was very effective.
Yeah. Well, you just
It was very
said the
effective
opposite of that.
For me
Oh
to
my
think that my
God.
partner,
My brain hurts
You know, I may
listening to
cross
this
the line.
guy.
of course I did. I mean, I said things I didn't mean. Of course she's going to be mad at me. But to the point where that's the end of the, like, we're not going to be friends no more, and she's now on the police side. No, that didn't happen.
She called the cops
and,
on
for
you.
the
They
Hong Kong
arrested
police
you,
to
and she
even-
put a restraining order when you got out.
What do you call that? Pretend? They definitely, when they
And your
created
followers
that
harassed and
restraining
bullied
order
her.
and hand it to me and lock me in a cage and take my glasses and make it so I can't use a phone.
So they
They
intimidated
put
a
my name in the
witness. Your
system wrong, so
followers
nobody
are
could even
idiots.
find me in the system.
None
know,
of
they
you guys
intentionally misspelled
understand the
my
law.
name.
You're just cop
It's
baiters.
possible maybe they
with
were
a
just
cop
having a
fetish,
good time and
which is
laughing
a
at me for 4
bootlicker.
days, but they could have done that without escalating things, and they could have done that without the restraining order thing. Maybe I wouldn't have taken it as seriously, but the point I'm getting at is, based on what they did, they weren't trying to just
count
laugh
how
at me
many
for
times you
4
said,
days.
the point I'm getting at, the point I'm getting at, the point I'm
Had
getting
Jody
at.
Cat Media
Oh, there it is.
not showed up when she did, from there I would have went to county jail, and I would have been
Yeah, because your
Houston
your
County Jail
followers
as a-
bullied
as a
and
woman
harassed
beater.
her.
right.
You're spinning this like you lying like
That's-
a
I think that's-
motherfucker. You're
and
spinning it.
Maybe I've already discussed this. I'm not sure, but it's not far from being there's certain kinds of people that I think are frowned upon in the county jail, and it's not probably the best place, the most friendly place to
Really?
be in the first place. So like I wasn't gonna
People
have
in
a good time,
society
even if
don't
they
like
said that,
people who beat up
I was
women
the king of Egypt. I
repeatedly.
wasn't probably gonna have a good time there no matter what. But they arranged
Jail's
to
not
send me
the
there
fucking Hilton, dumbass.
as a person
It's not
who
supposed to be
would,
fun.
be targeted for violence, and they were arranging for me to have to fight these charges from the county jail. How long does a case like this take? If I want to beat it, it's going to take months, especially because there's nobody that's going to
See,
represent me.
he just said,
right?
if I want to
So,
beat it.
Basically, all they were doing
So
is
it's
they were
still
gonna
open.
force their hand
See, he's
to
such
get out
a
of there. I
fucking
would've had to
liar. He
plead
doesn't even
guilty,
realize his
right?
lies. He doesn't
Even
even
if I
remember his
bailed out,
lies.
Even if I bailed out, that wasn't going to fix my problem. I would still be going back and forth to a court that refuses to give me a fair trial. Let's
You're
be honest.
still
this
going back to
Inglewood
court on
I
4/4,
had a
2022.
bullshit case there before. It lasted 6 years because they do not give me a fair trial. And I just
Maybe it's
recently
because
made
you
videos
harass.
about Eric Taylor. He's the presiding judge there. And in fact, get this, he's the one that signed off on that temporary restraining order. Taylor, okay? He was involved with Detective Allison.
Yeah,
He's the
so
one that
let's
signed
talk
off on
shit
that
about a
temporary
judge that you've already said you
restraining
wanted to
order.
hang from a bridge. A black judge.
So you don't have to look too far. Besides putting me over there in a situation where inmates are going to think I'm something that I'm not. Obviously, the sheriff department doesn't love me to pieces either, right? There's sheriff deputies.
Maybe you should
that
just
would
not
probably like
beat
something
women. Have you ever
bad to
thought about
happen to
that?
me, and I can't think of a better place for it to
Rather
happen
than
in
blaming
their jail
everybody
that they
else for
run.
your troubles?
So,
Yeah, you
I mean,
desperately...
does that sound paranoid?
Yes, it sounds very paranoid.
I don't think so.
I do. I think you're a paranoid, delusional, egotistical
It
narcissist
sounds like
who belongs in prison with
No,
your
that's
boyfriend, Eric
facts.
Brandt and Ricky Pinzone.
And it sounds like
You're a career criminal.
if I'm smart, I wouldn't be saying things I don't mean that I can't take back. Where
You're not smart,
know,
though. That's why
and
you went to
disturbing
jail.
neighbors where I could possibly be in a situation where I would have to think about these types of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, who do I have to blame but myself for making it?
So you're going around
so
in
easy for
circles.
them
It's the
to
cops'
take
fault.
advantage
It's your fault. Whose fault?
Of
It's
that
your
situation
fault.
and make it worse for me.
I assure you,
Right.
they didn't take you to jail for words
But
that
that
you
said-
said at Jody Casillas.
And nobody's getting their retirement pension, that's for sure. That said, Ricky, I wonder if Ricky said, Ricky, one of the things I was supposed to do in the stream was to thank you, and I think I did before you were here. But I just realized that probably wasn't enough. I should have been thanking you before you left, and I probably missed you.
Yeah, thank Ricky Pinzone for e-begging on your behalf and not returning the donations.
And then there's this whole other situation. Like, I'm not normally the person that's going to be coming in that courtroom under those circumstances. In fact, you know,
You got
I should be
quite a
considering
few
this a
appearances
blessing
in courtrooms.
to make sure that I don't ever allow myself to be put in that situation again. And then it's not hard to do that. All I have to do
You probably
is
should stay away from
act
women
like an adult.
since you've done
Right,
it 3
and-
times.
Nobody should be able to put me, you know, the police won't be able to put me in a situation like that if I behave myself.
No, you won't, because you got screws loose and you're a drug addict and a drunk
But,
loser.
50-year-old
50-year-old lives in a shed.
It's just
Can't
funny, though,
drive a
'cause
car.
I thought me and Detective Allison, we're like that, right? Man, things were a little different today. I just had a very simple question for him.
You're scared as
You
fuck.
know? And you guys are gonna love the way I phrased it and stuff, how I handled it, because the whole time I was there, they would not allow me to have glasses.
Huh?
If you need to read or something or see, it's important to have them, right? I feel like they don't have the authority to do that, but they did. So when I went to ask questions about the restraining order, I left my glasses at home because, first of all, they don't want to talk about that restraining order.
Oh,
There's the
here's
sheriff.
more lies.
He's making a stop right now, unless he changes his mind. It looks like he's gonna rear end that car. You see how fast he accelerated to that car? If he doesn't pull that car over after all that, then I'm taking credit for it. He definitely seen me. He did. And look, he decided not to do it because he sped by like a fucking idiot right now, and he seen me when he went by, and I think that don't mean he's not gonna make a stop. You know, these guys make stops in front of me plenty often, so I'm not trying to pretend that me being here is enough to make it not happen.
I
But
thought that's your whole thing. I thought
it
that's your
appears-
whole
it-
thing.
It does appear that could have been what happened.
Oh my god.
On the other hand, these sheriffs sometimes just drive like morons, and maybe he was hoping to accidentally run over a pedestrian and kill them because he was driving at the appropriate speed to make it happen.
Well, you're in the middle of the road, so you're also breaking the law.
The thing, I feel like this.
Keep talking. This is great.
It's just weird to me.
I love how you intimidate domestic abuse victims.
Okay, what they did with me, nothing bad came of it, right? I'm still free and I'm everything, so maybe no harm, no foul. Of course, I'm going to try to exploit it and publish it and
We're going to
somehow
publish the body cams as soon as
educate
they get
people
them
with
to
it, but I
us.
don't expect that that's going to change the world.
We're definitely interested in those.
I do have a much better understanding of some of the problems we have with our courts and our police. For one thing,
It's always their fault.
okay, so
It's never
obviously
your
I was
fault.
overcharged.
You should be
I mean,
allowed to beat up women, right?
It's going to be a tough sell for. Even though I may have made mistakes and not treated Jody nearly as well as she deserves. That's not
Visible
the same
injury.
as
Visible
attacking somebody and needing
injury.
to go to prison or whatever. So
Visible injury there, Daniel
I'm trying
Solomon.
to own up to my part of it, but not lose track of the more important situation here, which is our
Spinning it.
police in
Spinning
this
it.
country. They cannot be trusted to do the most simple things. We have domestic violence things every day in every city, probably in this country, right? Everywhere. Our police cannot be trusted to show up and arrest somebody who needs to be arrested for the safety of someone else and take them to a jail properly and
Stop
feed them
breaking
and
the
house them
law,
and follow the
asshole.
rules and regulations that we have made for those circumstances.
Oh my god. Stop beating up women. It's the third
I can
woman
tell you
you've
what
beaten
happens in the
up.
city of Hawthorne.
Where's the video?
However, when they were
You keep saying you have all this dirt. You keep saying you
trying
caught
to arrest
this, you
me,
did this,
even
you
though I
got
didn't
a
shoot two people,
video of that, and it never come out. They never come
a whole
out.
crew of people
You're
put
gonna
hours of
attack
work into
a
this.
firefighter
They put a
and it never
prosecutor
came
and a
out.
judge onto this and intended to
You
do
got
much
dirt
more.
on this cop. You got dirt on that cop.
So
It
my
never
point in
comes
saying
out.
that is, our
And then when it
police
does
aren't
come out,
interested
it's not
in
dirt.
enforcing any
It's
laws
what you
to
think is
protect
dirt. It's
their
not.
communities. They're far more interested in seeking out somebody they don't like and trying to ruin their life. That takes. If they have,
You
there's two
ruin your
options. Okay,
own
somebody got
life.
shot. An innocent person I don't know over here got shot. I could try to catch the bad guy, or
You're no
we
hero.
could try to make up some shit and arrest Daniel. And who cares about the shooting suspect? We'll find him later. He'll shoot somebody else.
So he hasn't been riding his bike, and he's
That's
still
where
got
our
that
police's
layer of
priorities are at.
meth sweat on him. See that?
And that's the
You
good guys.
probably
That's Hawthorne. I
shouldn't
call
go
them,
live
you know,
anymore
compared to
until
other
your
agencies,
charges
right?
are
They're the
dropped,
good guys.
until a
Lieutenant
restraining order
Tygets
is
He's a
dropped.
great guy. I like him. I hope that make a video and have a conversation soon. I know he would probably hate to hear these things that I'm saying and probably would somehow find a way.
You're not
to
saying
disagree
anything
with me.
that. Oh my God.
But
You're a narcissist.
I don't-
Your ego. You
I
gaslight.
don't see any way around that being a fact. That's exactly what the things that took place. I brought to the attention of maybe 6 or 8 officers. I said, hey, I don't know if the cameras picked it up or not, but we got cameras over there. Would you like me to go and check and see if I could get the footage in case it's helpful to you?
2 o'clock in the
And so they said, oh,
morning.
sure, okay. They agreed. I'm not going to get the footage. The only reason I said that is so I can record myself telling them so they know there's cameras, they know there's footage. And
You
all I'm
make no
documenting is that
sense.
not one of them is going to walk 10 yards over to see if the camera's recorded it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going to
That
I've
story
done this
made no
before in
sense.
the buildings I've managed.
Who are the
I've actually
dumbass
taken the
people
time
that follow
to
you
provide the video
and
evidence
try to
when
bail
there's
you
a,
out and condone
an
you
awful
beating
crime
up
that
women?
happened. But since it was a building that I managed and Wendy Scouting managed, and we had sued the Hawthorne Police Department, they're not gonna take that evidence.
Oh,
or
Wendy,
investigate
she also
crime.
put a
If they do
restraining order on you.
Investigate a crime. There was an arson that they, even though I solved it, in their records somehow it
You
shows
solved
that
it.
I'm, a suspect for that arson. The only reason they didn't make an arrest is because I
See,
have a
his,
video
his
that proves
mind is all
who the
scramble
actual
brain.
suspect is. But they're not
Now,
going
is
to
he
document
talking about
that
Ricky
suspect.
Benzone
I'm
and
the
that?
one that lit the building on fire, according, to their
So you light.
records.
So you were accused of lighting a building on fire too?
And Lieutenant Guess,
Wow,
I'm sure,
you
would
are
also,
a real winner, man.
try to deny that fact, but
Man, I'm
I
sorry
had
I
a
ever
public
met
defender
you, dude.
named
You are
William
a
Sadler.
disgusting person.
when I was suing Hawthorne Police for the felonies they charged me with for eavesdropping, and William Sadler, at whatever point, he was like, "Wow, these these arson charges don't look good." I'm like, "What arson charges?"
Dude? What are some charges, dude?
I couldn't get him to talk to me about these arson charges, but obviously I've never been charged with arson or accused of it.
You just said you were accused of it. Oh my god.
Accidentally solved one because my cameras just happened to record a guy lighting a motorcycle on fire that spread to the building. Nobody was hurt, but there was like $100,000 worth of damage. And get this, it was a fireman who lived in the apartment below it who was the victim. See, that's the joke. And this fire,
You're the joke
I guess there was some
who
cheating
beats up
going on.
women.
And one of the guys is upset, and so he thought that's how do you get back at a fireman?
Jody's
He
not
lit
his
the-
first
he tried to-
rodeo.
He lit the guy's motorcycle on fire that was by pouring a bunch of gas.
There's a
that was
reason
right
why he
underneath his
doesn't.
apartment and
None of the
spread to
girls that
building.
he hangs out with
It sounds
are
like that's the
around him
kind of,
anymore.
crime
Even his own
that
fans
the police
know
would
that.
arrest somebody for lighting a fireman's.
Where
trying
have
to,
they all,
light a
except for the
fireman's
fucking
apartment, right? You think?
Xanax queen,
I'm the
liar
arsonist.
shark,
Nobody was arrested.
opioid queen.
We identified the suspect
Everybody
by
thought
name,
she was a man.
like,
That was
within 3
hilarious.
hours. Wendy contacted, I forget the guy's name, the tenant's name, but she contacted him, and they already knew, it was his girlfriend's
Liar.
other lover. So, like, it was no secret. They knew exactly who it was. Is that not strange? Does that not sound
Yeah,
beyond
it
believable?
sounds like another lie.
He wasn't a county or city fireman. He worked for the
You don't
Forestry
even
Services,
remember
and he
your
was also
lies
black.
in
I
your
don't know
same
if
sentence.
that-
Like, you still are lying.
Does that make him less of a priority? I'm sure if it was one of the local county firemen's places that were lit on fire, they would have solved it. But the local firemen here make $500,000 a year. They don't live in an apartment on Doty, so probably a little bit different. 10,000 a
They
week?
can't give firefighters
Well,
enough
that-
money.
That figure sounds low to me, but you might be right. I think most of us all need to make more money, right?
Then get a job.
So yeah, I came out here. I didn't really have a whole lot to talk about, I guess,
Yeah,
but that's what happened.
mind-numbingly stupid.
But
Dumbing
I'm
down
glad,
your
I'm glad that I got
followers.
to talk about Detective Allison,
Hmm.
and
Trying to
there's nobody that's
intimidate.
going to convince me of anything different. For him to make that a priority, to make sure. So look, first of all, they weren't going to let me have the option to use the telephone anyways. I'm not sure if you all know, people in America no longer know a telephone number. Do you know anybody's number by heart?
You can always ask to keep.
If you don't have it written down
numbers.
on your hand, how you gonna even your
You can always ask to
significant
get 'em
other,
off your
even
phone.
people I'll say Ricky Monday. We talk all the time. Do you think we know each other's phone numbers by heart?
You probably
There's no
should,
way.
considering how many times you
If we
both
get
get
arrested,
arrested.
Ricky or I, neither one of us has a way to contact the other one from a jail because the first thing they do is take your phone.
Is Ricky
Do you think the
Benzone your
jailer,
only
like, you
friend?
can say, hey man, could you go get my phone out of the property and bring it over here because I need to look up a number? They absolutely should do that for you. Why not?
They do
Why
it.
wouldn't they help you to make a phone call that you
But
need to make?
when
They
you're an
should do that.
asshole, they probably don't.
And I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that they will do that probably in a decent place with decent motives and decent officers. And all that.
This is going
But do you
on a
think they were
fucking
gonna-
hour.
Get me a phone so I can alert the people that care about me so they could be blocked from framing me, which is what they were doing. Right? They weren't going to help me to avoid the situation that they were creating.
That
If they
you
were gonna do that,
created.
they could have just not created it.
You created the situation that you created, that you hit a woman and caused visible injury, and she filed a police report.
Well, Ricky, you said we worked for free? I want to tell you a little story.
No, this is fucking boring, dude. Fuck, I'm stopping this.
So,
Ugh.
I definitely,
talking.
someone just mentioned the domestic violence type thing. I had never in my life looked up any kind of information on that. You know, like, so when I was there, and of course,
You
I
never
always,
did? You've
you
been
guys might
charged
know
with
this
it
if you've seen some of
several
my
times
interviews.
before.
Every time I'm there, even though, you know, you're not supposed to probably, I always waive my rights, I sign the waiver, and I have the conversation with the detective who's framing me. Every time.
It's
there
never
might be
your
exceptions,
fault.
like, I don't really remember the
People who
exceptions, I just
condone
remember
woman beating are
the interviews
fucking
and the
sick
videos
people.
that I get later. You know, I get, usually I get the video from them and I publish it, and then I get to evaluate any mistakes I might have made, but also I could see, you know, what their conversation is, and mostly they're just blowing hot air up my ass. Their part of the conversation is, it's not even necessarily relevant. They're not so much trying to frame me, working real hard at it, because I think when they want to, they just lie and say whatever it is, write down whatever they want to. I think with me, it's usually been PC 148 charges, and so they just say, well, sorry, Daniel, we get it, you disagree, you think you're allowed to stand there, but under this situation, you were a little too close, so it's PC 148, you lose. And then after, you know, like sit there for 4 days and get released.
You didn't
then
get arrested for PC
In the past,
48.
we sue, and they have
You
to
got
make
arrested
a
for
small payment,
felony
but
domestic
They
violence.
don't care as far as they're concerned. They're still gonna arrest me and hold me for 4 days every time they feel like it, and it doesn't matter if there's a lawsuit that follows or not. To them, it kind of matters to me.
That's also your
Um,
entire thing is to get a lawsuit.
I-
That's all this is about, is so you
this
could
trip was
sue them
stressful.
and win
For me, it
the
was stressful.
lawsuit lottery. So you're a professional victim.
Especially the idea that that I might not get to come home.
You're a professional
tough.
victim. Nice life. What a life. Why don't you take us to your shed?
Oh, I ride a bicycle. I don't pay for a car, gas, or insurance, or any of those types of things because my lifestyle, I can't accommodate those things. There's no way. But even if I could, there's been short periods of time where maybe I'm publishing a lot of videos and I'm making a little bit of money, but I still wouldn't spend the money on
Drugs?
the car and all that stuff. I couldn't sustain it. If somehow I can, that money will go in the bank. I'm not
Well,
going to
why don't you get a
wasting-
job
I hate to say wasting,
so
but
you
my
could
work
get a
is local.
car?
It's
You
very
live in
local
Los
right here where I'm
Angeles.
at.
Everyone
There's
has a
Super Bowls and
fucking
all that
car
stuff here.
except
The
for
traffic
you.
is so bad you can't even walk through it. So I've got the finest vehicle in town.
Yeah. You also got a suspended license.
What about 148G? But whatever. What did I miss? Hi, Seattle, Judy.
Another woman that condones
A blow-up
beating
dog.
women.
Did you see on Jackass? On Jackass, they had a tandem and they put, a doll in the back of it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why I decided to throw that in there. I guess because I sometimes ride tandem. But
Because your brain is scrambled and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You just want to hear yourself speak. Yeah, you're so cool, dude, for riding a bicycle, man.
it's cold
So
out here.
cool. Yeah, so maybe go inside your shed and heat up. Maybe wrap yourself in that
I don't think
jerk off
there's any bell
towel you
money.
have on your cop
Right?
baiting
Is there
seat.
bill money? I think the bill money was already refunded. Oh, blow up! Good answer. Blow up doll with the bill. Yeah, we got a bunch of dolls.
The
No,
bail
I'm pretty
money
sure
wasn't refunded.
I think
It was
whatever
all
money
a scam
raised,
by Ricky
since I
Pinzone.
didn't need to be bailed out. I think it was just returned.
You're lying.
Hi, Rob. I'm doing good. I got cold hands, but actually, I'm doing really good. Just because
Yeah, you're
I'm
doing
free,
really
You
good.
know what I mean?
Yeah, you look like it.
I-
You're riding a bicycle at
Sometimes going to jail for a
2:30 in
minute
the morning.
will help you bring things into focus, especially when it's just a minute and you get to come back home and realize, obviously how much worse things could be. And obviously that's my whole crew. I almost feel, if I say
Crew.
my whole crew,
You mean gang?
obviously me and Rick and Laura and Jody, right? But is there more?
No.
Catman? I mean, we don't see Catman very often, but I still talk to Catman constantly. You know,
Your online
each other
criminal
in the
gang.
even though we on Super Bowl Sunday we rode for a little while. And Ghost Rider, Lacey. I mean, I guess even though you guys aren't here local, you guys are. Ghost Rider took us around, took us to the spots when we were visiting. Yeah.
So
I
go
really
get
wish
in your
Eric
shed. Go get in your shed, Daniel.
Brandt- Moderators, thank you very much. Yes, that's a good point.
Go get in your
I
shed,
wish Eric
Daniel.
Brandt could somehow be here.
Oh, here
Imagine
we
if
go with Eric
was in
Brandt
Southern
again.
California. I was hoping.
Well, you have to wait 12 years, maybe more,
with the
possibly
police and
more.
stuff.
This dude is infatuated with Eric Brandt. Like he wants to marry him. Or maybe he wants to beat Eric Brandt up.
Yeah.
Or get a domestic violence charge.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the best because I think we're all pretty equal. The other
Okay.
day I realized. I mean, I probably realize every day, but.
Yep, go in your
But
shed.
just
Show us
recently
your
I had a
shed.
conversation with somebody where I was trying to make a video and collect a video on this incident that happened years ago. And I've always wanted to publish on it.
Oh, is that the
and
trap house dealing
I finally
detail?
had the opportunity. I got the camera.
The front, the
and,
detailing
started
front.
Having this conversation, I might as well just go ahead and be specific about it.
Get
There's a.
get in
I
your
don't know if
shed.
this officer is still around. His name was Connor. Oops.
It's 2:30 in the morning.
And this is. And the reason.
And you're gonna tell another
was excited about finally
story
bringing this old fact in because
to
it
your
also had to
25
do with
followers.
restraining orders. Okay, but
You're
as
like
it turns out,
all the same people in your
all
chat.
Connor
Never
was
anybody
trying to
new
do
can
was
comment.
He just wanted to be the guy to arrest me. He had no idea that that there was any issues with this restraining order. That wasn't his doing. So.
Well, you
my
just
point
admitted
is-
it. It was Jody Casillas' doing.
I think there's a lot of
It's
misunderstandings.
public record,
especially
you
in
moron.
this business
Anyone can look it up.
that I work in.
Oh,
First
there's
of all,
is that your shed?
The police aren't known to be the most honest people, or the most forthcoming. A lot of things aren't disclosed.
See, spinning,
So,
beating
we're
up
working
women
with
again.
Incomplete information in the first place. But then, yeah, sometimes my point was, sometimes we're really sure that we know something is a fact, and over the course of years, probably things change. But in this case, I was completely wrong in the first place. Fortunately, I don't know that I ever
Made any
I
sense
don't know
during
how
this
accurately I
entire
put the blame on
stream?
him if I ever fully accomplished that. So, but yeah, I was disappointed to find out I was wrong about that.
You're wrong about everything.
Right? Eric?
Literally
Okay.
everything. Now go in your shed and go to bed.
My hands are so cold. So I think I have to end this. 'Cause
Yay!
my hands are cold. I
Absolutely.
got laundry all over the floor. So this is a wrap. Thank you guys for
Oh,
joining.
you don't want to show us your shed? You don't want to show us the filth you live in?
Rick, I imagine I'll be seeing you sometime soon. You all have a good night. Thank you guys for everything, for listening to me babble.
And he
Lacey,
still can't sign
I
off.
don't have any idea
Jesus.
what I have to do to contact Eric. I'm not sure. Maybe probably the best thing is to type a letter like on the computer, and it's gonna go through email. Is that how it's gonna work? I thought. Wasn't there some
You're a
kind of limit?
criminal. You don't know how to receive
Maybe the
mail,
limit
how to
was on
send
phone calls.
mail.
I'm out of touch. But I think I already mentioned I was supposed to go.
Yeah, you
to
send
Liberty
prisoners
Police Channel, right?
emails.
And that's where I'm gonna find.
And they just log right on
that
to
I
their
need,
computers
instead of
and
trying to be
check
lazy
their
and act like it's
Facebook
your
and their
responsibility
YouTubes. See how many
to
views
tell
they
me.
have.
Good night, Seattle. Gee.
Yeah, you said good night like 30 fucking times, you tweaker.
And then I'll be able to communicate through email messages. I think, right? I guess once I get to JP, I'll start to figure that out.
Go to bed.
I'd
Go
ask,
in your
mentioned the
shed.
spirits. Address is in the chat. Just send a letter. Good night, Sydney. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'm gonna talk to you soon.
Thank
Have a good night.
God.